March 26th, 2002. Okay. Dear Eric, welcome to Texas. Yeehaw. I'm chilling in Austin. John, Mom, and Dad, and Uncle Tommy and Aunt Carmen are here. I'm in a diff room. I really don't care about Ben anymore. And I started out. It says Ben, but it's a B and then 2 stars. Because apparently I've decided his name is a curse word or something. I don't really care about Ben anymore. I have officially got a kinda little group going with Mickey. There's Melinda and her guy, Vincent. And then Meredith is pretty cool too. But Mick's a jerk about her. I love it here in Austin. I'd so like to move here when I get older. I miss Mickey, but not as much as I could, but significantly. Also, he's like the only one I even really miss. I'd so die of joy if he could have come with us. Smiley face. I finally got rollerblades from a Goodwill, but hey. So now I'll be set for if the snow dies down in Minnesota. I could even rollerblade to school when spring kicks in. I wish Katie and I were closer. She's still grounded. I mean, my God, that's insane. I think I give up on trying the Christian thing, but I gave it a shot. I never talk to Chris or Brandon anymore, so it's no big deal about them. And I can always find non-Jesus camps. And then I drew a pentagram. And I wrote, woo! Anyways, yeah. I can't believe that Mickey likes me as much as he does. It's unreal to think that he cares about people sincerely on that level. Not love, but super like. Also, I am completely growing so fond of him. I just hope this doesn't bomb. If I go through another thing like I did with Ben, once again, I start out the last 2 letters of his name, I'll die. I mean, that would get me so down. I actually pulled a safety pin in science class and tried to... Hello. Can you have the Google? I don't know where the Google is, but if you know where it is, yeah, go grab it. Yeah. Okay. Hey, I am still recording. Oopsie. It's okay. Thank you. I actually pulled out a safety pin in science class and tried to slit through my skin. Like, not slit my wrist, but other various section of my under forearm. I mean, if I could have found one of those science scalpels, hell, I would have broken loose. No one notices my safety pin lines. No one noticed my safety pin lines I managed to get because I couldn't get it deep enough to bleed a lot. So I actually will die if I get hurt like that again. I don't want to just cut myself off from Mickey on those emotions because of what Ben did. I still want to trust, so I just hope this works. If I get too close and I cut it off just because I'm so close to him, remind me to slap me. I wonder what I should do about Katie too, though. If this relationship gets much more dead, I don't know. How could I ever break it off with her? She's the only one to really last and fully bond to and love me. All my friends on the first day of school, or soon after, are so far away. It's sad. I know it's me, but what can I do? Alas, the empire fell with Ben. He was placed as my cornerstone for my whole life. Don't ever do that. So, I guess that even though I loved that, I should try not to do it again. LMAO. Well, I'm going to go try to visit Mickey in my sleep. And nighty-night, Eric. Heart, Greta C. March 26, 2002. Ooh, some more talk about self-harm. That's not great. This is when I visited Austin in 9th grade, which I talk about a lot when people are like, how did you end up in Austin? Because before I moved to Dallas, like right after college, I moved to Austin, which was great because I hadn't thought about Austin for a long time. And then I saw a thing about children. Okay, so what's wrong?
It was doing it too much.
Doing it too much.
Yeah.
Jasper, go potty. Oh, I want to do these videos, but sometimes I wonder what's the point. You guys ever hear of the call of the void? Maybe I have always had a little bit of that. Oh, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I remember being in middle school, like 7th grade, and like really comprehending, like we had watched the movie Roots about like slavery, and there's a lot of learning about like other countries and just like being like, oh my god, there are kids going to war and like starving in other countries, and there is nothing I can do to stop it or help it, and just feeling a lot of, I mean, it's not survivor's guilt, but it's like similar to white guilt. I guess it's just like the guilt of privilege, like just feeling unworthy and undeserving of the life that I had, and just being completely and totally crushed by it from the age of 12. Maybe that was the beginning of the anxiety and depression. I don't know how much of that you heard, because the microphone was over there. That's okay. But yeah, so my Uncle Tommy moved to Austin and lived in Austin with my Aunt Carmen for a long time. And, you know, we got to go visit them when I was in 9th grade, and it made a really big impact on me. I remember a lot from that trip, considering how long ago it was and how little actually happened. But they took me through like a tour of the student union at UT, and I got to go to, I don't know, just walking around the shops and the areas and seeing like signs in Spanish for like panaderia, bread shop. It blew my mind, because even though there's obviously, you know, Hispanic persons in Minnesota, there's not a huge Mexican population the way there is when you start getting into like southern and central Texas. Yeah, we should talk about Katie being grounded. Katie was grounded for like 2 or 3 months. Like, she couldn't really be on the phone. Oh God, I don't even remember what she got grounded for. And I don't think I had mentioned this, although it's been a couple years since I was reading these older entries. Sorry, guys. But I'm wondering how long it goes before we discover what everyone watching this probably already knows. And that is that she is not actually grounded. She is avoiding me. So much for thinking, what is it that I say? How could I ever break it off with her? She's the only one to really last and fully bond to and love me. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure she did love me at one point. Well, I guess I'm not sure. Who's ever really sure? But like, there were people in high school and middle school that I was like, I love you. And then it didn't last. It didn't work out. Things changed. I got to know them better. I realized I loved the idea of them or who I thought they were. And I didn't like fully know or hadn't met the full package yet, and realized that my love was only like partially there. I'm like, there's parts of us that are in no way compatible. Like, oh, say maybe you turn out to be super racist and homophobic. That might be a problem, but apparently not not right now. Greta. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to like keep it together. I like how I say that I really don't care about Ben anymore. And I guess maybe that's true that I don't care about the person, but the damage is like I'm censoring his name. Every time I write the word Ben, it's B***. So clearly I still have a lot of feelings. So it's not that I don't care. It's just that I am no longer carrying like a flame to get back together with him. So there's a difference. I still care very much about everything that happened. But yes, we all have to reach into the past and slap Greta of the past if I decide to break it off with Mickey just because I'm getting too close to him. I'm like not going to be that person that puts up the walls and never trusts again. Although I do feel like I will completely lose my shit if I get burned that badly again. Because I'm talking about like scalpels. I'm like, I can't. And yeah, obviously I don't know that I actually would have done it, but it's been so long. And God, even just like, so I'm currently back on citalopram, which is something I got on after I almost died having Jasper. And, you know, lots of PTSD, lots of intrusive thoughts and immense fear of death, like as an entity, like that I had evaded and that was coming for me. You know, not a Grim Reaper, but like the concept of death, like a wave. But yes, I was feeling pretty good mid-pandemic, actually, and thought that I should get off of the citalopram because I wanted to have a higher sex drive again. And then distant school started and things started to go pretty far back downhill. So even just last month, I was like laying on my bed crying and being like, I wish I would stop waking up, which has always been like how my deepest depression sort of manifests. I don't necessarily want to actually have to take action to hurt myself ever. I just start to have no will to live. It's not that I have the will to actively die. I just am like, oh, if I could please just stop the struggle that is living, that'd be great. But I am back on my citalopram, which is very good. It's one of the reasons that I feel like I have the bandwidth to, and like deserve to make the time to do these videos again. And also, I feel like I should mention it here since I mention it. I mention my YouTube videos over there, so I should probably mention my TikToks over here. If you want to go learn a lot about plants, I am on TikTok as Gay for Plants. So there's a lot more me content over there, I feel like, than there is over here. But I care really deeply about this channel, which is why I did it pretty consistently before I had kids. And sometimes when you have that thought of like, oh, if I was going to die, what would I regret having not done? One of the things I frequently think of is like, I haven't completed the saga. Like I just want to leave these all behind. You know, the struggles of sad little bi atheist. Anyway, I highly recommend citalopram. It actually has less interactions and like lesser side effects than the majority of other SSRIs, and it's really good also for anxiety, which is, oh my God, if you haven't seen the new season of Big Mouth, they introduced Tito the anxiety mosquito, and it's just so spot on. I felt so seen. Anyway, thanks for hanging around with me. Go ahead and tell your friends about the series. I feel like it has enough to binge, and since we're all in a pandemic and there's nothing else to watch, now is the time to spread the gospel of Dear Teen Diary. And I'll see y'all around.